Welcome, my name is Bijan Jamshidi. I'm a small YouTuber who reviews stuff. I really thought that I'd never have to deal with this kind of issue or make this kind of video, but here I am. LG has asked, or in the case of Hardware Unboxed, bribed YouTubers and is trying to force us to follow a specific guideline on how to review their new 32GP850 and are now in full damage control mode. And it makes no sense why they went this route. The monitor is amazing and I recommended it over anything else in its class. I still do. The monitor speaks for itself. But I'm not sure why LG feels the need to ask, force, or bribe YouTubers to make sure this monitor seems perfect with no compromises. No monitor is perfect. When I started having issues with LG, I didn't know that I wasn't the only one. Had I known, I would have made a video weeks ago when I spoke to Tech Team GB about this exact issue. More on that later. Also, I'm guessing my rep was different than Tim's rep because my rep didn't make it as obvious to what goals they were trying to accomplish. In fact, as you'll see later, my rep made it seem like there was an actual issue with the review units they were sending out. The experience Tim had versus my experience were different with both reps trying to accomplish the same goal. By the way, if you haven't watched his video, you should to get an idea of how shady LG CNS was trying to be. Now, because I've only been in the YouTube scene for a year and 8 months, all of this is new to me. I've heard people dealing with all these kinds of issues before, but I never actually expected this to happen to me, nor did I know how to react when it did. And I know that making this video will blacklist me from getting review units from LG in the future, and that it'll be harder for me to get products I need, especially because I'm a smaller YouTuber. I just don't have the resources, but I don't care. The more YouTubers we have speaking against this, big and small, the better we shape our industry the way it needs to be to prevent this from happening more or at all. And if you're a smaller channel like I am, if you're dealing with a similar issue, whether it's with LG or another company, I encourage you to make a video and speak out with your experiences. Who cares if you don't get a product from that company anymore? Is it really worth your integrity? You'll get other emails from other companies and you'll grow regardless. This is not the end of the world. Now, I wasn't bribed, but even if I was, I value my reputation more than short-term games. I would never change my review just because it doesn't fit a company's narrative. I work for you, not for them. Being honest with you will also get me much further long-term than taking any short-term game. I just don't want this scene to be like the gaming industry, where publishers require you to say positive things only, otherwise you won't have pre-release access to the game, at least according to LFP Gaming. I don't know if it's true, but I don't doubt it. In any case, I don't want this industry to become that. I'm trying to make this my full-time job and I don't want to be miserable doing it. Whether I'm given a review unit or purchase the product myself, I just want to present the product with data and present it in a way I want to. No company should get in the way. By the way, LG, since you're probably watching, I'm not taking this video down. More people need to know what's happening. Now, I technically wasn't bribed to change anything, but LG did try changing some things in my video and has been preventing me from posting the video, which has been ready for about a month now. Let me give you the rundown. On April 7th, 2021, I received an email from LG CNS for the first time ever, asking if I wanted to review their new 32GP850. Hell yeah! When I get these kinds of first emails from well-established gaming companies, I get excited. LG and I go back and forth about the monitor, its improvements, and whatnot, and I give them my address and they send me the monitor. Immediately, the problem begins. I emailed my rep telling her that I received the monitor, and she said that the embargo date was May 12th, and quote, "Please share the first draft with us to review once it's ready." Draft? What draft? This is the first time I've ever heard of any draft. LG set their terms after I received the monitor, not before. But again, this was new, I've never experienced this kind of thing before, and I didn't know how to react, so I responded with, "What do you mean by first draft?" They replied with, quote, "We generally get a draft before publishing, just in case we may have something to correct, factual inaccuracies such as product features." I said, quote, "That's a bit unorthodox for me as I've never sent a script to any company before making a video. So I feel a bit weird/uneasy about it, but I'll see how it goes when we're going through that process." Basically, I was hesitantly going to send them a draft to check for factual inaccuracies. But you already know that this isn't what LG's intentions were because I made this video. That was just their sly way of getting a draft. After thinking about it some more, I re-emailed my rep saying, quote, "While I understand you want to make sure that the features reviewers go over is being stated correctly, I triple check/quadruple check my work to make sure that it's 100% accurate. This isn't something you need to worry about with me. So after consideration and for the best interest of my viewers, I am not willing to share my draft before posting a live review. I understand that LG might want things to be done a certain way, but I don't feel comfortable sending any of my work to a company before the viewers see it. I'm still willing to do the review as I intend without sending any drafts. If that's not something LG wants, I can send the review unit back. They respond by saying, quote, "We did not intend to control your creative concepts and your review opinions for the review. We just wanted to make sure that since it's our first collaboration. Thus, we totally understand you. We definitely believe your review concepts as you've done before. It's fine with us not to send us a draft before publishing. It'd be highly appreciated if you could just let us know if you find any concerns or issues." At this point, I felt relieved. LG knows they're not getting a draft, and now I'm happy. I proceed to ask questions on the monitor, and while replying, she says that the embargo date has lifted. This was on April 28th. It's now May 11th at around 10 p.m. I'm 15 hours away from publishing the video, and I receive an email from LG saying, quote, "We believe your review concepts, as I've seen from your previous ones, and we definitely did not intend to control your creative concepts or your opinions on the monitor. But we're currently having some issues with other reviews, so the client requests us to receive the draft before publishing. I totally understand you are not comfortable with this, but it'd be highly appreciated if you could share the draft. Hope you kindly understand." Fed up with this whole draft thing, I quickly render what I have so far, upload it as an unlisted video, and share the link. I also told them, quote, "I will send a draft this time only. I cannot do this after today. Please understand that if you decide to send me another product." I also asked what issues they found in other reviews so I can cross-reference. The reason I sent the draft is because I thought that they would be happy with the review. I praised the monitor for how good it is, the improvements they've made, and highlighted the typical downfalls of a monitor like this, which shares similar downfalls to other monitors in this category and price point. And because I knew everything in there was factually accurate, I figured they're going to give it a quick watch and give me the go-ahead to post the video the next day. Why am I so naive? On May 12th at 7 a.m. Eastern Time, they respond with, quote, "I've seen your review, but the client did not give us feedback yet. So it'd be highly appreciated if you could hold posting it. I'll get back to you as soon as possible." She ignored my questions about what issues they had with other reviews or didn't bother to tell me that they couldn't share the information. At this point though, I began thinking that this is a major red flag. The unlisted video has about 10 or 11 views by this point, so I replied about an hour later after she emailed me and said, quote, "There have been quite a bit of views on the video from the client. Any update on if there are any inaccuracies?" They responded with, quote, "Sorry for the delay. It's not because there are factual inaccuracies in your review, but we did not get any feedback from the client yet, so there's some delay now." I didn't respond, but she emailed me again about 7 hours later saying, quote, "We are having internal issues, not sure which, but my client is telling me to delay a little on its review. It'd be highly appreciated if you could hold publishing for about a week." 22 hours go by. It's now May 14th at 2 a.m. She emails me a third time saying, quote, "I'm sorry to bother you, but could you please let me know how you measure your contrast ratios and the device you used for this in your review? It'd be a great help for us to understand the content precisely." I told her what I used, which was Portrait Kalman Ultimate and an X-Rite i1 Display Pro colorimeter. I emailed her that information on May 16th at 9 p.m. On May 17th at 12:30 a.m., I emailed again asking what the update was with the client. Mind you, I still don't know who this client is specifically. I'm guessing it's LG. She responds 18-ish hours later with, quote, "I'm not sure which it is, but they told us that they have some internal issues, and I'm assuming that it will take more time than we expected." When LG started pulling this stunt, my wife and I went back and forth whether I should post the video or not, and she made a strong argument, which was, give LG the chance to fix whatever issues they're talking about so you can have more accurate information in the video. I can't argue with that. So I gave LG the benefit of the doubt. After some time, I'm just getting fed up with the situation, so I reached out to Tech Team GB because I remembered that he was dealing with some similar issues with MSI in the past. So I asked him for advice. After talking to Andrew for some time getting advice, he helped guide me in what I wanted to do. After realizing LG wasn't being clear on who they were referring to as the client, nor did they say what the issues were, I decided that I was just going to post a video as well as a short story in the beginning of the review or a separate video explaining this issue. After deciding, the email I sent to LG said, quote, "There isn't clear communication and I'm not given any details on why I'm being told to postpone the video. I will be publishing this independent review on Thursday, May 20th, 2021. If there's any information that's incorrect, please provide specific details so I can amend them, so long that it is factually incorrect. As a small YouTuber who works full-time and does YouTube in my free time, I don't have the resources to just postpone the video indefinitely and immediately have another video ready in a few days. It takes all of my free time. Currently, I've gone 14 days without a video, which is extremely damaging to the growth of my channel, which is another reason why I'll be posting this video. If you'd like the monitor back, I will send it back. I apologize for the issues this may cause. 3 hours later, on May 18th at 10 p.m. Eastern Time, they said, quote, "I apologize for any confusion or inconveniences that occurred for not providing you with enough details in advance. The client told me that they're currently checking some points with the 32GP850 panel in the internal lab since the product seems to be having some issues in testing. Once completing with the testing on the monitor, we'll get new information with a new testing guide for the product. They would like that information and guide to be included with the product review. As you may know, this is our brand new model for 2021, and the client is quite sensitive with the product review. I totally understand that the delay could be damaging to your channel. We can definitely make compensation for it." Now, because they actually gave me something other than, "There's an issue, hold the review," I told them, okay, fine, I'll hold it for now. And for the record, guys, I was curious and did ask what compensation they were talking about. They said that they'd provide me with what I desire, whether it's the product or monetary compensation. When reading that, I felt uncomfortable taking anything from them, so I ignored that email, which, by the way, was sent on May 21st. 2 weeks go by, and I hear nothing. Until June 3rd, where they sent me this. They said that they wanted the response time tests to be shown at 180 Hz at 960 pixels per second, instead of the native 165 Hz I tested it at with a pixels per second speed of 1920. I was fine with switching it from 165 Hz to 180 Hz because honestly, I usually test and compare monitors with their highest refresh rate anyways. I don't handicap the monitor I'm reviewing just because the competition is slower. What I wasn't willing to do is 960 pixels per second. If you don't know what I'm talking about, it's this. This is the alien test that most reviewers use to show how blurry or clear an image is, otherwise known as pixel response times. Many people use 960 pixels per second, but I personally use 1920 pixels per second because it helps distinguish the differences between monitors more easily. This way you can tell some actual differences when I'm comparing monitors. I told them this and they said, "I'll discuss this with my team and get back to you as soon as possible." That was on June 3rd. At this point, it's June 7th and I still haven't heard a response. So I asked, has there been a response? She said that she'll have a response by tomorrow at the latest. 2 days go by, and now it's June 9th, and I received an email from them saying, quote, "I totally understand you have the standard PPS you use to test the monitors. It'd be fine to use 960 PPS. I'm guessing she meant 1920. But please test the monitor on 180 Hz instead of 165 Hz, which is the way the monitor is intended." Again, I was fine with that 180 Hz because I usually test at the highest refresh rate anyways. I just don't know why I didn't for this video. They continued by saying, quote, "And I've got one more thing to tell you. I'd like to ask if you could take the part you comparing the 27GP850, I think she meant the 32GP850, with the 27GN850 out of your review, since both are our popular models and the 27GN850 is still fond of many fans in gaming." I responded with, quote, 180 Hz will be fine. I'll change that. Unfortunately, I cannot remove the 27GN850. Because the video is focused on showing how LG improved the monitor, I designed the video around that. Also, because the highest overdrive level is a setting that no one will end up using anyway because of the noticeable overshoot/corona artifacts, even on the newer GP model, and add to the fact that the GN850 has a $50 lower MSRP for the same sized models, this won't make consumers feel like they're missing out. The last response I got to that was 12 hours ago, at the time of writing at least, which said, quote, "Thanks for your explanation. We have an internal meeting early next week and I will get you updated as soon as possible. Sorry for asking you to keep waiting." And that's where it ends for now. So why make this video if it seemed so close to resolution? Simple, because this shouldn't be happening. Had I known that LG CNS was trying to strong-arm other reviewers, I would have gladly made a video to expose their BS earlier. I just wanted to see how this would handle out for my first time working with them. And like I said, I don't want this to become a more common issue. The sooner we call out companies for their crap, the quicker we can squash the issue and the better off the reviewer and especially the viewer will be. We don't want this scene to be polluted with paid garbage. I really feel bad for the good reps at LG CNS. They have no choice but to be a part of this. It's either you pull the stunt and lose your job, or disobey your management and lose your job. I'm sure there were some reps at LG CNS that knew how bad this would turn out, but had no choice but to obey their management. Some serious management restructuring needs to take place. Other than that, there's nothing else I have to say. I'm just giving my side of the story so you guys can get a better picture of what's happening in the community. It's better that you guys know exactly what's going on. We'll see what LG replies with next week. Thanks for watching and have a great day every day. Peace.